for it. And that's always been something that stuck with me, is that if something needs to get done, let's go do it. And guys tend to carry that attitude with them. And it doesn't feel like sacrifice, it just feels like what we do. When I was born, it was just my older brother and me, and my father was finishing school. And so, my mom, she was essentially working 2 jobs and also taking care of 2 young kids and helping pay for my dad to go to school. I was too young to remember that, but then, we moved and more kids came along. And I always remember that, my mother sort of deprioritized her own interests in the interest of helping my father professionally to establish his career and do the things that he wanted to do, provide for the family, take care of the kids. To the extent that we joke that my mom, when we were kids, hadn't had a hot meal in 5 years. She just was constantly going to the kitchen, back and forth, taking care of everybody else first. And so I think that exemplified sacrifice early on in my life. And then the things that I think that I've seen along the way that are most impactful in people's lives, my own life included, is when you set aside your own personal interests to put the interests of the team or the cause in front of you. Every time you go through that door, every time you're the first guy into the building, there's some degree of sacrifice in that. So certainly those things. And then I think you see with the wives and families that stay behind and what they sacrifice to send the husbands forward. And I know, having just done my own retirement back at the command and looking out at the crowd of people that were there, each one of those people, I could identify something that they had sacrificed to help me be successful in my career. And they had put me, and that's friends and that's family. And certainly my parents, sleepless nights, and my fiance. And so I think there's a lot of sacrifice involved. And particularly, and I even mentioned this when I was giving my retirement speech, is that for me, the retirement itself was more a way to bring all of those people together in one audience, so I could sort of say this collective thank you to all of them for everything that they had done for me. And a lot of times they didn't know where I was or what I was doing, or they just knew that, I needed them to take care of this thing or that thing, and I would reach out to them and they would say, yep, we'll do it, no problem. And, again, tremendous sense of gratitude for that. But there's always so many other examples that I could go into of guys putting themselves, putting their friends, putting their own personal interests aside to help out the team or to help out their teammates. And like, from the early days of Buds, the lessons that are instilled in us is when the mission's over, you take care of the team gear, then you take care of your own gear, and then you take care of yourself. And so it's like self comes last, sometimes to our own detriment, right? But it is very reinforced in the community that the team and the mission come first.
Let's talk about love of country.
Yeah.
What your country means to you.
When I think back in the time that my grandfather was alive, I remember talking to him about his family